Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. Jimmy Failla is here. So, Jim, we both had difficult football weekends.
Hey-ho.
I mean, not only did you get your legs broken and put back together by the bookies, they always do an amazing job. Like Monday, barely a limp.
Never bet on your son's high school team. It's a teachable moment here.
The UCLA Bruins, I believe, are 1-15. So the worst start to a season.
They're the one team my son's high school team beat this year.
I wish they had female players on the team.
At this point.
I really do. In fact, they might.
Yeah.
So maybe they could get some fellas to play and get a couple of W's this season. It's been absolutely awful. It's very traumatic. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to start playing fantasy college football since the players are moving around so much with the NIL payments and the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
they're not going to stick around anyway.
No.
You got to manage your expectations with a program like UCLA. It's like, when a child makes art, you've got to grade it on that scale.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it's like it used to be, UCLA is a really cool place to go. I would like to go play football there because I can meet hot, famous chicks. And I'm in the safe part of LA, unlike USC, which is in just a terrifying, like gunshots whizzing past your head.
Yeah, USC is dicey.
Yeah, it is. It's dicey like a Ginsu onion. You don't want any part of that. But now it's like it's a dumpy, crappy, anti-Semitic hellhole.
Yeah.
And it's not that I've given up on the entire school, but they'll never see another dollar of mine.
No, not a penny more. Not a penny more. Not after what they did, all the protests and stuff.
Disgusting.
You know what's funny, though? It actually had a historical impact because all of those campus protests are the reason Josh Shapiro isn't vice president.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, if he was the nominee, it might be a different race because Walz definitively hurt her last week. Trump surged 8.6 points in the betting market since the debate.
God, I love seeing you on Monday because I always forget to look up the betting metric. I always just go with the dumb, stinky, moldy polls.
Some swing state.
No
Who
one
cares?
actually answers the phone.
No.
Trump voters don't answer the phone. He could be up by 37 points right now. We wouldn't know.
He is. That's my actual guess is this thing is collapsing. They were running a confidence game. They're like, people really like Kamala.
Yeah.
And that's
joy, 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 joy,
and
joy,
everyone's
joy.
in on it now. And when SNL is mocking her, it's because they want to be on top of the zeitgeist.
They did have a funny joke. She's like, I should have picked Josh.
Yep.
And the fake Gamahoff is like, you mean Josh Shapiro? She goes, no, Josh, the wine, this Cabernet.
As someone said on Fox News Saturday night this past weekend, they made a movie about her not picking Josh Shapiro. It was called Jew No. There you have it, everybody. Congratulations, campus protesters. Your anti-Semitism is why the Democrats are going to wind up not the only reason.
To you.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to have a good rethink about this whole thing and go like, man, maybe we shouldn't have been all in on Hamas.
It was a weird position to take that close to an election. But
And it's weird they didn't see that in real time. Like it is going to take a postmortem for them to, if she does in fact lose. And it's like we talk about this almost every week because it's like we're watching this unfold in real time. Going, man, she really could win. Like the second Biden threw his weight behind her and they couldn't have that quick whiz-bang primary process and she was the presumptive nominee, we were like, she could totally win.
Yeah.
Like she's not him. That's a 20-point bump right there.
Yeah, just a pulse alone gets you a lot as a presidential candidate. And the fact that she had one meant momentum. And the fact that she is historic, though, as the first female president, first black female president, isn't actually helping her.
I heard Hillary Clinton this weekend in a speech go, she's not really black. Hillary Clinton said that, which I was like, wow. They really are just stealing from the Trump playbook
Yeah,
now,
they've had
aren't
it now. God, that's funny. Kamala flips on everything. She's going to flip-flop on being black. she's like, actually, I'm completely Indian. I was never black.
Ever. Like, I don't even know my dad.
I never said I was
so
black.
Gross. Yeah.
Like she does with everything else. It's always the greatest thing in the world. It's like when they try to rate her. Like, we rated this as partially false that Kamala flip-flopped on fracking, needs more info. I'm like, what more info do you need than the 71 videos of her being like, I banned fracking.
Fracking is done.
So,
I hate it. It's garbage.
I would ban
We're done with it.
out of fracking.
Like, I never said I would ban fracking.
We're like, here's a video of you beating up a man fracking. You're hitting him with a bat. It's you and Joe Pesci and Frank Vincent. It looks like a scene out of Casino.
Frack this, you piece of...
I was supporting him. I was telling him to frack more efficiently, is what I was doing.
I was saying frack, yes. God, do your jobs, media.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
She's going to be on a special 60 Minutes tonight.
Oh, man. I saw the preview. Kamala, forget the country. Kamala Harris couldn't run a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Okay, that's reality. It's bad. It needs to be said. Like, I saw the excerpt where he actually asks her about paying for things. And this is the second time this has happened to her, where he goes, well, what if you can't get it through Congress? This is the real world. And she just says, well, we have to.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, we have to tax the rich. What if you can't tax the rich? But we gotta.
Yeah.
But that's not actual sound anything.
That's not a strategy.
What I've realized is, do you know the Eddie Murphy bit? We always joke about how he said he wanted to do an Elvis movie because you could just tell him the thing and he sings the song.
We ought to win this race.
That's what it is. That is literally what it is.
That's her 2024 slogan. We ought to win this race.
Inflation. But that's what she says. Like,
it's
Kamala,
all gone.
Inflation. Seriously, though, what is your plan to lower inflation? And she's like, well, inflation is bad because things cost more and people are struggling. And that's something we're mindful of. And that's it. That's been an acceptable answer up until now. And what they're running into is because people are finally asking follow-up questions. That's what happened to Walz last week with the Tiananmen Square thing. They haven't been prepared for the follow-up because they were getting away without answering questions.
Put herself in a live scenario.
No chance.
That's why there's no press conference. She's not going to go on Brett Baier at 6 o'clock. She will only do edited interviews. And Stephanie Rule, of course, was going to give her a very glossy edit in addition to those softballs she tossed her.
I know.
And, Scott Pelley is no different.
No, he's going to be nice. Don't forget.
And he's mad at Trump because Trump said he was going to do the interview and then backed out.
Yeah.
But blame Leslie Stahl.
But Kamala is in a tough spot because at first she didn't want to do 60 Minutes because she didn't know how long the show was. And good night, everybody. Come on. There you go. She's like, I have a question for you, Scott. How long is this show exactly?
I don't have 60 minutes. Okay.
I love your Kamala. It's great.
She's so annoying. So I don't know. And she's trotting out that dead horse. I know. It's like Walz, like he's going to redeem himself. Like he's going to come up with an answer for the most predictable questions ever. And I think now she's having him out there just... he's like the dead body she's using as a shield as she runs through the hail of bullets.
But he was supposed to balance the ticket in that. He was going to be this adult in the room that could co-sign what she did, the folksy midwestern governor guy. But he's just so not that. But I still love that
JD Vance out Midwested him.
Oh, he crushed him.
That was my favorite thing. It wasn't just he had better debate mechanics. Like he really is a master debater.
Yes.
But he also is very deferential and, we'll pray for your family. And, I'm sure Governor Walz would agree with me here and there. And just doing things that they did not see coming. Like, they did not do debate prep. Like, he's going to be humble and he's going to admit that he was wrong.
Because...
How are you going to react to that? They did not see that coming at all.
They weren't prepared for civility.
No.
And that's the big problem, is that the media caricature of the Republican ticket is not in line with what it is. Meaning the JD Vance of the debate, he is always civil. But they've been portraying him as this like godless heathen who wants to kill migrants and execute single women for not having enough babies. And he's just not there. And so I thought it was hilarious. But what we're watching now is, because, what are we at, 28, 29 days? It's too much time for Kamala. Like, they're starting to have to speak publicly, and they can't.
Yeah. No, that's... And considering what has happened in such a short amount of time, like, it's only been 3 months since the first assassination attempt. That's nothing. And then there was a second assassination attempt. And then Biden dropped out of the race. We've had 2 conventions, and she didn't get a convention bump. She didn't get a bump from the debate that she clearly won. So, what is she going to do now that she's sliding?
Yeah, you can't Willie Brown your way out of this one. Okay, all right, what's going on here? We're just being silly now. But the point is, there is no answer because they don't have the ability to make a play. Meaning the media is going to go out and be surrogates for her. But they want to preserve their own credibility just the same, because if the zeitgeist is that she's unqualified and not a serious person, you don't want to run in contrast to that. And that's the SNL thing in a nutshell. They're making fun of them because they've made peace with the fact that they probably aren't going to win this election.
Yeah, and if they do, and if they're the reason that they push her over the half a point it's going to take for her to be victorious, the blood is on their hands if it goes badly.
Yeah, then they've got to own it.
Yes.
Nobody wants to own this.
No.
There's a lot
I
of
mean, the New York
metaphors.
Times is like, we're not going to make any money during a Kamala administration. We're going to have mass layoffs. But a Trump administration, like they can smell that that sweet loaf in the oven.
Yeah, like when Trump gets over the top, we could be selling handmaids costumes again. Remember the they wore? The merch money, if Trump wins, is so big for liberals on the left. They're all in for him.
No, I have an office full of 13-year-old Cambodian girls that are knitting those hats as we speak because I'm capitalizing on it. If they're not going to, by gum, I will. All right, Jim, let's go have a week.
Let's get him.
This has been Kennedy Saves the World along with Jimmy Failla. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.